Hey YouTube, this is MVR Punisher 001 with kind of a different video for you guys today. So bear with me, I'm kind of driving, heading to my unit to process. So anyway, I kind of want to talk about the new Fort Lee, not the old version of the Quartermasters for Fort Lee, the new Fort Lee. So before I left for AIT, I watched the YouTube video, and it was about how amazing AIT is going to be. It wasn't too bad, it was a little stern, but not a lot. You can have your phone all the time, you can do X, Y, and Z, and it was really good. So, I'm going to give you the new AIT today, the new Quartermaster side of Fort Lee, Virginia. So this is what they're doing now. So when I first graduated training, they were like, I think it was some of the training, I don't remember who it was exactly, maybe some of the drill sergeants said it too, that you're going to get a 3-day pass. So you're going to go to your unit, whether you get POV or GOV, I chose POV because I was going to hang out with my family. Too easy. Well, anyway, they said go ahead and tell them, you're here with the family, and they're going to give you a 72-hour pass. So, wife and I and the kids drove from South Carolina to Virginia so we can do this 3-day pass. Stayed one night in a hotel on Thursday night, got there on Friday. So we're going to have this weekend pass that we were going to be able to just kind of catch up with the family and hang out. My buddy who was driving behind us was in the Quartermaster, not Quartermaster, my bad, was in the ordnance side. So he was told the same information we were told. Well, anyway, so, sorry, I'm trying to merge. We finally get there on Friday. We arrived to something called HHC, which is something that the other YouTube videos have never mentioned, HHC. So you're going to learn about that in about 2 seconds. So HHC, we get there, and the guy who kind of greeted us, he was like, yeah, well, thanks for coming here so early, just come back at like, I don't know, he's like, 1400. I'm like, okay, is that when I come get my pass? He's like, what pass? I'm like, the 72-hour pass we were told we're all going to be getting once we get here. They're like, you're a quartermaster, you get no pass. I'm like, oh. That sucks. I just got my family all the way down here. We just spent $1,000 to make this trip happen. And okay. So around 1400, I said bye to my family, and she was stuck in Virginia all weekend while I was at Fort Lee doing my thing. Okay, so HHC now. No other videos have ever mentioned this yet, so bear with me. HHC is a holding unit, kind of like reception, like 120th AG, for when you get to Fort Jackson. And you could be there for anywhere up to from 3 days to almost 3 weeks. You gotta wait for your class or your your class number to fill up so you have enough spots to start your schooling. So luckily I was only there for 3 days, but I was with guys who were there for up to 2 weeks, and one guy was there for 3 months waiting because he was at recycling. 2 of them actually. So they had to wait a little while. And so that happened, and HAC is kind of funny because it feels like almost like a prison because how small your rooms are and how close every room is together. You're in a room with 3 people. You get 1 bunk and 1 bed. So you're gonna spend time there, like I said, anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks. They don't ever tell you how easy it is to be to hold over. And one thing about HHC is when it comes to slotting people, reserves and National Guard, they go first. So if you're active duty and there's not enough spots, they're going to take the reserves and National Guard guys first, because in quotations, they deploy more. So they got to get them out into the field quicker. Realistically, it's because, hey, the state don't want to pay you more than they have to, which is fine. I mean, it worked out in my favor. We had 103 people, and only 102 went in. So there was one guy who had to wait another 2-3 weeks to get, to come from HC to actually his unit. So every company in HC that you're gonna go to is like, depending on your MOS, you're gonna be there with like fuelers, water specialists, the morticians, I guess they have that, whatever MOS code that is.
Lane closure ahead in 3 miles. You're still on the fastest route.
You're gonna be in with like petroleum. I already said that one. Bear with me, I'm just trying to figure this out. Whatever. You're gonna be with any like paralegals and stuff. You're gonna be with any 92 series for the most part. So once your day comes to get out, you pack your stuff, you go out, and you wait for your platoon sergeant to pick you up. And well, now funny thing is, the last 2 weeks I was at AIT, they brought back the drill sergeant. They're back. They're here. So you've been warned. Whoever's getting in, you're not getting away from your from the drill sergeant once you leave basic training. But I'll get to that. Anyway, so this is my experience. Okay, they picked us up, and so we're like, all right, this guy's gonna be really chill because that's what all the videos said. These guys would be really, really mellow and down to earth or whatever, yada yada. Well, they get you in the bus. They get you, and you packed everything you have, so you're tight in this bus, like wicked tight. So it's pretty uncomfortable, but you don't go too far usually because Fort Lee is not that big of a base. And all of a sudden it's get off the bus.
In 10
You're
miles,
like, what?
take exit 103 on the right onto I-295 south toward
Get off the
ME9.
bus. We did that already in basic. So you're getting off the bus, and they have you run to the field. I was in whiskey company, so pretty big field. It's really nice, really kind of nice. Well, they have you dump all your stuff out, and well, I was trying to be nice as I can, and I wanted the sergeant to bump into me. I'm like, I'm sorry, Sergeant. She goes, oh, now we're buddies, huh? You can talk to me? Who said you can talk to me? And she just got a little butthurt, but it was just them being them. So I'm like, oh, great. Here we go again. Now these random platoon sergeants are going to be just like they were, at basic training. And, well, so they have you dump your stuff. They check all your stuff contraband because, when you're at Jackson, they're like, oh, you can finally get knee pads, like knee braces, whatever. And whatever brace you need, you don't need a prescription anymore. So everybody who bought, like, ibuprofen and, like, knee braces, they had to throw all their stuff away. And people were like, oh, you can have food there. You can't have food there. You can't have anything but water. And sometimes you can't even have a water bottle. Like, you're stuck with the Camelback again. And so they have you go. They dump your stuff. You search your stuff, and then they smoke the crap out of you, depending on who you got. I remember we ran around this track for so many laps. And I remember, like, if we weren't fast enough, we had to run back and try to grab the people who were slow. And if we didn't make it in whatever time hack they gave us, which was made up on the spot, we'd have to run the track again. And then just repeat the process pretty much till you were sick. But, so yeah, a little shark attack comes back. Not as big as it was at basic, but it's there. So I guess it counts for something. So they get there, and you spend the next, like, 3 weeks after your schooling, like, signing paperwork and playing games, and they really go out of their way to take your time when they get there. Like, you don't get much free time. And yes, they do take your cell phone. They're going to take it for up to 4 weeks because you're on this new honor platoon program. And after 4 weeks, you earn your phone back. I know you kind of pay the bill, it's your phone, but you earn it back. So, not yours. Anyway, so you're going to lose your phone 4 weeks. But then the next morning, instantly, you're gonna go ahead and you're going to start school. So you're going to get to for me it was Quartermaster, 92 Yankee. So now I went to the 92 Yankee school. And you're going to meet your new instructors there. So once you meet them, they're going to take you to your classroom. And they're going to lay down the rules, and they're going to have you set up your own class rules and how to go forth from there. And every week there's at least one test you're going to do. I think it was, Bravo 3, Bravo 10, Bravo 15, Bravo 19, Bravo 22, GCS Army, Delta 3, then you get the smaller in how to break down weapons. So those are the tests you're going to be taking, throughout your 8 to 9 weeks you're going to be there. So that's the schooling pretty much in a nutshell. It's really hard to explain the schooling. I mean, it's just legitimately Monday through Friday class time. And all you're going to be doing is class time and tests. So in a nutshell, I really don't have to get too deep into that because that's really what it is. And so you go to school, come home, or go back to your barracks. And depending what the platoon sergeant or now drill sergeants have for you. So they kept saying they're going to bring back the drill sergeant. What they're doing is they're taking all the platoon sergeants, just sending them back to the drill sergeant academy, and they're just pretty much doing the last 2 weeks of drill sergeant school because platoon sergeants already have that. They've already been to that school. Instead of going the drill sergeant way, they went to the platoon sergeant side of it, whatever the needs of the Army was at that particular time. And they're gonna go back, pretty much get fitted for the round browns, and they're gonna go ahead and, you know, come back to their to where they are stationed now and be your drill sergeants. So it is what it is. By the time you guys get this video, they're gonna pretty much all be drill sergeants. Very, very few platoon sergeants probably. And okay, so they got your phones. They can bring you back to class and yada yada. And so once you get back to your barracks, they're either gonna have stuff for you to do, or they're gonna give you some personal time. Every night is a bed check. They're gonna do between like 6:30 to 1800 to 2000, depending on what time they want to do it, and that can take forever because, however like loud and obnoxious your battle buddies may be, will pretty much determine how long you sit there. So you can be there till like 9, 10 o'clock at night, you know. So it does happen. So just kind of get on whatever the rules are. Get online. Get behind people in alphabetical order. Have your CAT card and your ID out, or your ID tags, and just make it easy for yourself, man. And just let battle buddies know that, hey, listen, you know, we're only here as long as you let us be here. Because there are some petty sergeants that will keep you there all day, all night, because they don't care. And a lot of them are just really upset because they have to themselves stay there all night, and they have to pull CQ all night. So a lot of them are a little butthurt over that. So they have no problem wasting your time. Bay guard, fire guard, whatever you want to call it. Instead of having the 1 hour you did at basic training, or 1.5 hours for me, you're gonna have 2 hour shifts, and they're gonna have you get up 15 minutes early, go down and relieve your shift. And if you don't do your shift, you get caught not doing it, or you caught sleeping on your shift, they're probably gonna give you. They love handing out 4856s, counseling students. They love it. That's their favorite thing to do other than smoke you. Well, either they're gonna hand you a 4856, or they're gonna go ahead and tell you, guess what? Now you do the next person's shift. So the next person will have to wake up, and you can pull their shift. So that potentially is a 4 hour shift. And you get about 7 hours sleep at night. Doing a 4 hour shift, you just 3 hours of rest. Not a lot of fun for school, especially when you get up every morning at 04 to do PT. Barracks inspection, they do that right before PT. You're gonna wake up. You're gonna go ahead and do your barracks. They're gonna come in. They're gonna search your room, make sure everything's squared away, make sure everything's to the dressed and to the standard. So they are going to do that every morning, and then they're going to hit you up with PT every morning. And for whiskey company,
in 2 miles, take exit 103 on the right onto I-295 south toward ME9.
Sorry, my GPS went off. Anyway, so what they're going to do is, like, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are run days. Like Mondays we were doing ability group runs. Wednesday we were doing 6120s, and then on every Friday we did either a brigade or a company run. That was pretty cool. And we also did some battalion runs in there too. They mix them up whenever they I guess feel fit. And that's pretty much how your every morning is going to look Monday through Friday. The first week you're there, they're going to make you do what's called Mino PT. You're going to work out there with the PT failures. And so if you fail PT, you get 2 PT tests while you're there. You know, at least, depending on how well you do. If you pass your first PT test during this new platoon phase thing, when you get time to black pass, which black pass means you can go on post and you kind of go shop around in uniform and count back, so you still look your total tool, but you at least get a couple minutes away from your platoon sergeant / drill sergeants. So if you fail your first PT test, though, you don't get that pass, and you won't get one until you pass PT test. And so once you do that, you do PT test, and then once you do pass your first PT test, not only do you get black pass, you also don't have to get up on Saturday morning and do PT.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 103 on the right onto I-295 south toward ME9.
Who wants to get up more than they have to go do whatever random PT that your platoon's out, or whoever's running that is going to do that day, because it's not your normal, the bent leg
keep right
crap. It's just whatever they make it up, and sometimes, depending on who you go for a sergeant, you're going to have some fun.
For 53 miles, continue on I-295 south.
Alright, PT. But then after, so your first 4 weeks you're on what's called Red Pass, which means you don't do anything. You only go to the PX when when they bring you to the PX, and you can only buy certain things. Like the first couple weeks you really can't buy nothing but cleaning supplies, because you got to maintain your own barracks, and they really don't have the gear for that. So 4 weeks of that, and the first week, and being a quartermaster, it was the first week is you do a 6 to 8 hour financial briefing. That's a good way to waste one of your Saturday mornings. And the second week, you're going to go to the Quartermaster Museum and kind of learn about your job there and the history of a quartermaster. I'm going to hold on. The third week, they'll find stuff you do, like details and stuff. The fourth week, it's when you start earning your black passes, so you can finally really start doing what you want on the weekends. The first day, you're really going to be back by like 1900. Second day, on Sunday, you're going to be back at like 1600. One second. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. That was cool. Never had my toe covered before. Perks of being in uniform. Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying. So, and then you're gonna get black pass for a total of like 3 weeks maybe, and then you get on what's called a what do they call that now? So you got red, black. I think it's like a gold pass. Yeah, gold pass. And gold pass, what they do is you get to go off post to certain places, and you don't have to be in uniform, so you can dress in your civilians, and so that's kind of cool. And then just make sure you come back on time, else they're gonna pull that away from you. Definitely come back to passes on time because they love taking away your stuff. I'm telling you, they thoroughly enjoy taking away your rights. It's kind of their goal there because they can't do too much to you there. And one lie they're gonna give you is your counseling statements are gonna follow you forever. And then you're gonna learn eventually whatever counseling statement, negative counseling statement you're gonna get there will not carry over. Whatever Article 15 you're gonna get will not carry over to your next duty station. And okay, so those are those passes. Let's talk about chow. So chow, you obviously get three square again. So as they call it, 3 hot in a cot. You're gonna get your bed and you're gonna get your meals. Anyway, depending on what time you get there and how many people are there, chow can go relatively quick, and you can have a little bit more time than you normally do. Or depending on how many people there, they can have, like my company can have 600 soldiers at a time. So you really don't get much time to eat or much time to do anything. So depending on, really just depending on how many people are there and who the sergeant is that day, will allot you the time. And you obviously got to wait for other companies to go through, and they can have 600 people, so it can take a long time. And the chow hall I went to always closed at 08:30, but the last to go, so we ate really quick most of the time, unless we had very few people, and then we were good to go. So that's pretty much chow in a nutshell. And it was better than basic training food. I mean, it's still the same bland stuff for the most part, but with more options to it. And they don't really get on you for too much of it. But remember, you're not working out there as much as you did at basic, so you can gain weight. So be mindful, like stay clear of the reds if you're like me, who could be a fat body looking at apples. Or if you're like somebody with a quick metabolism, then whatever to eat what you want, like you've been doing as you were. Okay, so we got over chow. Let's talk about... Okay, let's talk about something that's kind of off topic with it. Your platoon sergeants and drill sergeants. What happens is, you first get there, and everything's so weird. Like, it's so unusual, especially when you're Winnix and you first get there. Everybody's doing cadences, but they're not doing the normal cadence. I always call it basic training the musical. Because all the cadences that you ever heard, they've redone to make it sound lame, or it was made by other soldiers, and they claim it helps boost morale, but it just kind of makes you embarrassed as hell, in my opinion. Some of the cadence we did were just awful. I mean, just so much add-on to it. People would rather add on to cadence than actually sing the cadence, and it was weird. But everybody's clapping, dancing, and they're all doing this random things, and you're like, what in the hell am I in? Where am I? What is going on? Well, you find out after the senior class graduates that this is kind of what we do, and this is kind of tell you how to do this to help boost morale for the next guys coming in behind you. That way they can get into the rhythm of it too. And it's just kind of, like I said, they claim it helps boost morale. I really don't understand how, but so cadence is a little weird there, but the more you see, like, as people graduate, the more lenient you really see how the platoon sergeants can be, and they can be kind of cool. But the moment that they get a that following Monday, the moment they get 100 more people, they put on this fake mask, and that they get all stern with you. And yesterday they were bullshit with you and having a good old time. Today they're really stern. They're really in your face. They're kind of like putting on a show for the new people. So I mean, just you get advised it's gonna happen, and just kind of go with it. Just roll with the punches. You're only there for 8 weeks. Suck it up and move on. What else? I'll wrap this video up in a minute. These videos take way too long. So you got that. Let's talk about, I guess, graduation in a nutshell. Graduation is pretty simple. You know, once you get there, by the time you are done, by the time your 8 weeks come up and you're about ready to leave, you're so burnt out. You're just like, whatever, this is stupid. Because every 2 to 3 weeks you're being getting corrective training, like, or being smoked, whatever you want to call it. And for the new people, so it's like you always kind of tend to go back to red phase with you, or red pass, whatever you want to call it. And so you just kind of get over it. So you do graduation. Graduation, it starts at like 08, 08:30, 09, depending on what's going on. Graduation only takes like a half an hour to an hour, just 20 minutes at most, depending on how smooth the graduation goes. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple in a nutshell. That just do what you're told. You're gonna have rehearsal and whatever. The small arms portion before you graduate is pretty cool. You get to learn how to break down the M16, which you've already done, the M4, which you've already done, the Beretta M9. You're gonna do the Mark 19, which is a grenade launcher. You're gonna go ahead. You're gonna do the Barrett 50 cal. You're gonna do the. Mind you, this is the 92 Yankees. This is for the unit supply / armorers. Because you gotta get an armor start right there. You're also gonna break down the belt fed 50 cal. I don't remember whatever the name is of that. And I believe you break down the M10 sniper rifle, which is pretty cool. What do you think? Oh yeah, the 249 and the 240. So you do those. So you're gonna get an armor cert at the end of it too. So not only are you gonna get a unit supply diploma, you're gonna get your armor cert, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that happens. Then let's talk about after graduation real quick. So if you're airborne, you're gonna be waiting a good while after you graduate. You're gonna be holdover for a little while. I knew was one guy there. This poor guy was there from the moment we were there, and longer. And he's still there right now. At this point in time, being the 28th of March, and he's still there as a holder, waiting for his airborne slot to open up. Because he was an add-on airborne. He didn't originally have his contract, but he was able to accept one when he was at AIT. So now they gotta wait for a slot because he's not slotted yet. This poor guy has been there for about 6 months after his training. So, like I said, it's pretty bad for him. But you could be there for, depending on if your contract's airborne, you could be there for so long. And the moment you graduate, within like a few hours, you're gonna have a white phase, which is kind of like a mini family day pass. And then once again, 2000, you come back, and then you start doing holdover stuff. Like, hey, this cleaning detail, that cleaning detail, go over to this building, clean this, go to this building, break these leaves, do this, do that, la-di-da-di, yada-yada, whatever. And so it kind of sucks being a holdover. Regular Army, active duty guys, you guys will be probably a holdover too, unless you can get some POV working your play. If you're going overseas, you're a holdover, but you got to get those 10 days off coming up after that, so you can actually go home and collect your life, collect your stuff, say bye to everybody before you go to Korea or whatever you're going. So your overseas guys will be there for a little while too. Then your National Guard and Army guys, I mean Army Reserve dudes and National Guards, we get the luxury of going right home. So the moment you graduate, you can go. Just gotta show up in unit. They say 72 hours, but who knows? I'm heading there right now, so that's how fresh I've been out. So it kind of pays sometimes. I mean, people pick on it being a weekend warrior, but I'm not letting it right now. I don't know how many people would tell me who are active. Man, I wish I was reserves right now, because being in a training status sucks. You know what I mean? Because this is not how the real Army operates. This is trade-off. It's not real. They claim they can be worse. They claim they can be easy. We'll find out as time goes. Like I said, I'm only a part-time soldier, which is fine for me.
Lane closure ahead in 1.3 miles.
I like it.
You're still on the fastest route.
But anyway, guys, I guess I'll wrap this video up now because I've been with you guys for 25 minutes almost, and I gotta kind of focus on this driving thing. So anyway, that was my version of AIT in a nutshell. 4 weeks no phones. Drill sergeants are officially back in town. They're pissed off, but they're not horrible. And yeah, I mean, the cool backtrack for a second. You can have a laptop and stuff. You know what I mean? Just don't get it taken away. You can have a laptop. If they try to take it away, say nah. The colonel actually says you can have it. And right now, this is what he approves of, so you're good to go. But anyway, guys, this was an MVR Punisher, signing out.